Okay, boys and girls, today what we're going to do is talk about circumference of a circle. So a few things before we talk about that. I'm going to draw a circle and I'm going to put a center point there. So two vocab words you need to know are this. If I draw from the center point out to the edge of the circle, that's called the radius. If I have a line that goes through the center all the way across, like that, oops, like that, that's called the diameter. So diameter goes all the way across through the center. The radius is from the center point out to the edge of the circle. So if you look at it carefully, you'll notice that the radius really is half of a diameter. Or you could say 2 radius or radii equals 1 diameter. All right, so that's one thing. Next thing that we need to know is this, is circumference is around the circle, all the way around. So it's kind of like, I like to say, the perimeter of a circle. So the circumference is like the perimeter of the circle. So to figure out the circumference, we need a formula, and we need to use pi. Well, what pi represents, it represents two things, 3.14, and or we could use a fraction, which is 22/7. So either one will equal pi. So when we do circumference, circumference will equal pi times diameter, or you could do 2 pi r, which means 2 radius times the diameter. 2 radius times pi. This will give you then the circumference, and again, the circumference is around the circle. Two more quick things. If I draw a circle like this or like this, that's called a semicircle. And a quadrant, which is this, is a quarter of a circle. So semicircle is half of a circle, and a quadrant is a quarter of a circle. Okay, so let's look at our homework. And let me just make it a little bit bigger. So we're going to do a couple of these. So it says find the circumference, okay, of each. So you need to do this pretty neatly. You need to do a step-by-step. So again, our equation is 2 pi r, or pi d, or d times pi. So I'm going to help you with one of them. So let's look at number 2. Number 2 would be the diameter. So I'm going to fill in 50 times, and they're saying to use 3.14. And if you do that, you can use a calculator. And when you use that, do the calculator, you can solve the problem. I'm not going to give you the answer for that. The next two, let's talk about this. It says find the distance around each semicircle. So this is what it means. The arc here plus the diameter here. So let's go back to the circumference. Circumference is going to be the arc. So if I look at it, it's a semicircle. So I need to do this as my equation. 1/2 of a circle times pi times the diameter. So half of a circle is half of a circle. So fill in what you know. 1/2 times pi, which is 22/7, times 42. So what I could do is let me just get a different marker. I could start simplifying here. This is 1, this will be 6, this is 1, this is 11. So this will equal 66. But you're not quite done because it's around the whole semicircle. So I need to add in the 42. So you're going to add 42, and that'll give you your answer. Okay, so let's look at, now we're going to look at the quadrant. So the quadrant, you have to look at it and say, okay, this side's 10, this side's also 10. So now what I need to do is I really need to figure out this arc. So the arc is 1/4, because it's a quarter of a circle, times, now I have a radius there, so I need to double it because I need a diameter. So you could do 2 times 10, which you should know is 20, times 3.14. So when I do this, I could simplify right here. So it's 5 times 3.14. And then what you're going to do is after you do 5 times 3.14, don't forget you must add the 10 here and the 10 here. And that'll give you the answer. Okay, let's just skip ahead And let's look at the back. So we'll look at a couple of these real quick. All of these you must use 22/7. So the first one, it says it's a circular tabletop. So circular tabletop means a circle. I like to draw a little picture. Here's the radius. It's 1.9. So it's 2 times pi times the radius, which is 1.9. Again, we're using 2 because you have to double the radius to get a diameter. And then go ahead and you can solve that one. And again, you can use a calculator. All right, let's look at the a little bit different one. Let's look at let's go to 11. So 11 says a coin purse is shaped like a quadrant. Find the distance around the purse. So if this side's 11, this side's 11. So now I need to figure out what that arc is going to be. Well, 11 plus 11 I know is 22, so we'll keep that aside. So I got 22. Okay, so now to figure out the quadrant, it's 1/4 times 22/7, because that's what we want to use, times, and then I have, they only give me, remember, this is only giving me the radius, so it's going to be 22. And 22, the reason why is because that's the radius, so you got to double it to get the diameter. So once you solve that, you're going to add it to 22 here, which is why we have it on the side, and that will give you your answer for that. Okay, so let's look at a couple of these here. First one says the figure is made up of a semicircle and a quadrant. We have to use 3.14. Okay, so what I like to do is this. Let me make it a little bit bigger for us. So if I look at this side right here is 18. Well, if that's 18, this has to be 18. Okay, so I already know. Now I have to go around the whole figure. So I have 18 and 18, which is going to be 36. So I already did these two. Let me get a different marker. This right here, this line, and this line. Now I'm going to draw in black. This is what we have left. This part, arc, and this arc. Well, look, if you look at it carefully, you'll notice that one's a half, one's a quarter, so that's 3/4 of a circle. So I could just go ahead and use 3/4. So I'm going to take 3/4 times, now the diameter here is going to be, now if I erase over here, you'll see, it's going to be 36. And the reason why is this is 18 and this is 18, and you add them, that's 36. Times 3.14, because that's what we want for pi. So I could simplify right here. So now I get 27 times 3.14. You multiply those and then add the 36, because remember this is 18, this is 18, and this is 18, and that'll give you your answer. Number 13 is actually fairly easy. If you look at it carefully, you can put all those pieces together and make one big circle. But the only thing you need to remember is you have this piece here and this piece. Each one's 15. You're going to have to add 15 on later to the whole circle. Because if you push them together, you get if you take them apart and put them together, you're going to get one big circle. But just remember that 15 is a radius there. Okay, it's the radii. All right. Let's look at, I'll tell you what, let's look at number 15, because 15 is a little bit tricky. So 15, we have to find the shaded region. So the shaded region includes an arc here, this side plus this side. So this is a square, so I already know this side and this side is going to be 20 plus 20 is 40. So I'll keep that on the side right now. So I have 40. So now I have right here, this is a quadrant. So I only need this arc. So it's 1/4, because this is a quadrant, times 3.14, which is pi, times 20 is a radius. So I'm going to go ahead and make it 40, and the reason why is because you need a diameter. And then from there, look, I can just simplify right here, and then that's 3.14 times 10, and then add that 40, and that's going to give you the answer.